No. I declare that carried. We come now to item number 12 on the agenda, which is around the joint charter for Te Whakaoranga or Te Puanui, the Puanui regeneration strategy. Now, this is an area that covers a couple of different boards, so perhaps Councillor Angela Dalton, you'd like to move it, and Councillor Filipaina, you'd like to second it.
Yes, thank you.
Very good. And to introduce the item, if I can ask Sarah Swart, who's regenerative design lead in Eke Panuku, and then Karen Wilson from Mana Whenua to introduce the item. Sarah.
Ngā mihi, Your Worship, and with permission, I'd like to share some images with this presentation as well.
Absolutely.
Give me a moment. Tēnā tātou katoa. We're here today to seek governing body approval to ratify Te Whakaoranga o Te Puanui Charter. It's a huge privilege to be here alongside Johnny Freeland, also of Ngāti Te Ata, and Karen Wilson of Te Akitai o Waiohua. I'd like to also acknowledge the project sponsor, Craig McElroy from Healthy Waters, who is on the line. The Charter itself represents over 4 years of collaborative work to date across both the Crown, Council, local boards, local communities, and our iwi mana whenua partners.
Sorry to interrupt, Sarah. Have you got something on the screen at the moment? I'm not receiving it. I don't know about others.
Okay.
Anybody able to see it? I can see it now. That's right. It was there. Yep, it's back again. Thank you.
You've got that there?
It comes and it goes. It's gone again. So
I'll try it. How's that looking now?
It's good at the moment. Yeah, just as soon as I finished the sentence, it was gone. So we might have to do without it unless you can find out why it's disappearing on you. It's back again.
Sorry, I won't touch my screen from there. We'll leave it with that. Apologies.
Okay, good as gold. Thank you.
I was just saying, and acknowledging the work that the Waiohua iwi have done in leading this particular kaupapa. From the outset, they really challenged us to think more aspirationally and more holistically around bringing health back to Te Puanui, and they requested 4 years ago that we thought outside the Iki Panuku transform Manukau boundaries that you're seeing in the middle of the screen there, and took a mainga maunga ki te moana approach, which is a mountains to sea whole of catchment approach, which this diagram represents. So in acknowledgement of the leadership role they've played, Karen and Johnny are going to talk through some content on this kaupapa.
Kia ora koutou katoa. I'm Karen Wilson. I'm here representing Te Akitai Waiohua as the chair of the Te Akitai Waiohua Settlement Trust. I'm well aware we have 5 to 6 minutes, so I'm going to whiz through here so I have time for Johnny to speak. I'm one of the iwi from the Te Waiohua Confederation that descend from Te Waiohua. We're in a very unique situation as we appear before you today. We're hoping it's going to be a good news story with a very happy ending. It eventuated from the Puanui Regeneration Project, which appeared on the radar as part of our work and engagement with Panuku Iwi Forum. As we all know, it's a fraught space as you talk mana whenua and their interests in any one area. This is one of the few occasions, the Puanui, where mana whenua that weren't Te Waiohua said we wish Te Waiohua to lead out this work in this space, and we will participate in whatever manner that Te Waiohua determines. We were hugely surprised, I'd have to say, because it is one of those occasions that very rarely happens. We took that on board and gratefully accepted the offer to lead out this particular project. And because of the reciprocity that we feel towards each other as mana whenua who also have interest, we said in that vein, we would like you to participate and self-select in whatever manner you would wish to do. And that is what has happened. It's an inclusive approach, and that also involves the local boards, the wider community who have already been operating in there for many, many years. So everyone is able to participate in a way they see fit alongside mana whenua. We thought another way to best encapsulate that would be to put it in a written document that's how to ensure that you have a formal type relationship with all the parties, or no strings attached, I'd have to say, and all of the principles and te ao Māori that we talk about normally how can we capture that? We were very lucky. We had Johnny Freeland available to us. He's very good at putting these pieces of work together on our behalf. So I'll hand over to you, Johnny.
Kia ora, Karen. Kia ora tātou. As Karen mentioned, te whakaoranga o te Pūnui is a unique opportunity anchored not only in the collaboration of our three Te Waiohua iwi, but also in partnership with our communities, supported by our two local boards, CCOs and council. The Charter articulates the purpose and vision of the regenerative program, and in essence, the Charter will act as a compass to guide that work over the next 50 years at least. It's very focused on a staged approach over a number of years in a transgenerational approach. So the importance of focusing on our rangatahi, our young people of the catchment alongside our older community, because much of the wider care work is led by our community elders, if you like. The Charter frames a set of values, principles that accords mana and value to all our communities, businesses, local boards, council, and also Crown agencies. Kāinga Ora and Department of Conservation, Te Papata Whai have really come on board. But at the essence, and the Charter is really an invitation and a commitment to achieve the regenerative well-being of Te Pūnui, not only in the restoration of stream, but also alongside its peoples and connecting the communities back to the awa. And aspects of the Charter, and I just want to draw on a couple of examples where we acknowledge the importance of kaitiakitanga that recognises the obligations and responsibilities of our Te Waiohua iwi, but also we've acknowledged the role of our wider community in the care, protection, support of the Pūnui catchment. And so the term tiakitanga has been harnessed as a way of acknowledging the place and space and the role of our wider communities in acknowledging their obligations and responsibilities to the care of the catchment. And one of the key success factors identified is that the program becomes a model of Te Waiohua iwi collaborative partnering with our communities at the heart, council and Crown agencies, and the way we apply mātauranga Māori knowledge systems in the ecological, social, cultural and economic well-being of the stream and its peoples. So kia ora tātou.
Kia ora. Thank you very much to Sarah, Karen and Johnny, and for very good presentations. A really exciting project, and one that I think will benefit hugely from the partnership that mana whenua have with the rest of the community and with the governing agencies. I know this area pretty well from playing in the stream as a kid, when you could still play in it, to helping with the cleanup and seeing the degradation of the stream, and but also the huge potential of what this can create for the future as a beautiful area that restores our environment, that contains a cycle and pathway, connects our people to the awa, and you know, part of the role of kaitiakitanga. So very supportive of that. So I'll open that up for questions first and then comments. And the first question is in the name of Councillor Alf Filipaina. Alf.
Tēnā koe, Your Worship, tēnā kōrua ki ngā rangatira, kua tai mai nei, tēnā koutou. Look, the question is around 43, number 43 of our report. And I'm interested in any comments from our chairs of our iwi around 43. Your Worship, I could get that. It just explains the Charter, because I know it's got collaboration with mana whenua, but I think this particular Charter is unique, and just wanted to invite a comment from either Karen or Johnny, please.
Thank you. Karen or Johnny, would you like to comment on that, please?
I think in the spirit of why we're presenting this in Para 43, it embeds and embodies all of the principles that come from the Charter, Alpha, and that is the nature of the collaboration. It's a first step, but we believe a solid step, and we want to make sure it imbues all the positive nature of what it means. Johnny will accept that this is principles that were put through as part of the Charter, and we're all learning how best to reflect that in a report and how to also reflect that in a Māori impact statement. I see it as a positive because it doesn't name specific iwi, which is usually what Māori impact statement does. It's one of the few occasions you'll see in a Māori impact statement where it says mana whenua, and there will be no dispute that mana whenua have agreed, because it's a collaborative notion. Very unusual. Thank you, Councillor Filipaina.
Kia ora, Karen. Johnny, anything you want to add to that?
In terms of the specific sections of the report, I guess around risk and mitigation, one of the critical aspects of the collaboration is anchored at a leadership level. So the two local boards have played an important role in terms of the chairs and members being able to have direct conversations with the respective iwi chairs as well, and being able to anchor this within Auckland Council as a family group is critical to the future development. And the initial work that Sarah's referred to over the 4 years has been primarily anchored between our Healthy Waters team and Eke Pānuku. Through the Charter, it enables that wider visibility across the council family, as well as across central government agencies, because there's a significant number of players located in a range of activities within the catchment. So the Charter enables that bringing together of those different relationships and give us a clear vision and purpose moving forward.
Kia ora, Johnny. Thank you for that.
Sorry, can I sorry,
Alf?
I just got one. I just need your advice or Sandra's advice on this. I've spoken to Sarah about the report, and it's not about the recommendation, but some names in here, and I just sought advice around how I can get them at least correct, and that is in the executive summary. I just wanted, for example, I noticed that it's Te Akatai and to be correct, it's Te Akatai Waiuhua. So how would I sort of get those added into the report so when it is correct? Can I get some advice on that, please? Because I'd rather just do it later, but just wanted to make sure. So just some advice on that, and I'll reserve my right to speak, please.
Sarah, perhaps if you could have a talk to Councillor Filipaina and make any appropriate changes to names that might be required there. Can you, if I can get the two of you to work together on that before the report goes out, is that possible?
Absolutely, happy to make some amendments, Alf. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just say, Mia, the name Te Akitai Waiuho has appeared in many iterations throughout many documents, so I take on board the point that's been made by Councillor Filipaina. We're due to sign our DOS if we need any more advice. It's in Te Akitai Waiuho, not Te Akitai, which is shortening up the name. Kia ora.
Kia ora, thank you for that. Okay, we come now to comments, and I have a comment from Councillor Angela Dalton. Angela.
Tēnā koe, Your Worship, and tēnā kora, Karen and Johnny. I support the ratification of the Charter, Te Whakoranga o Te Puanui, and I want to thank mana whenua and also acknowledge the significance of this kaupapa. Te Puanui is one of the jewels in the crown of the South, and she's a little tarnished in places. And this Charter, with investment, will have her shining brightly once more as the tonga she is, and that is under the guidance of iwi. And with the ratification of this Charter, there does need to come some commitment of investment And here is where we can realise the contribution by the Southern ratepayers to the water quality targeted rate. So we too can have healthy waters as our neighbours over in Ōrākei will be receiving with an $800 million investment to their water improvement plan. So equity for Auckland, all of Auckland is only fair. What we have here is the result of decades and decades of a journey for mana whenua, some years of a journey for healthy waters, both boards, Manurewa and Otara Papatoetoe, and also Ike Panuku. And now we also have the inclusion of Kaingaora, so a partnership with a charter designed and led by iwi, Ngāti Te Ata, Ngāti Tamoho, and Te Akatai Waihua. That's something pretty special, and that's something that we should be aiming for with everything we do, is to have mana whenua with us from the very, very beginning. There's a lot of people to thank, and mana whenua is the first, of course, but I do want to specifically acknowledge Sarah, who I have watched since I was on the local board, diligently and patiently bringing this together from the council side of the table, or the CCO. So we have iwi Council, CCO, central government. So well done, Sarah. I know it's been a big job and you've enjoyed every single minute of it. So I'm really looking forward to watching the project unfold and build on the already hard yards that have been contributed to the regeneration of Te Pūnui over the years. So I commend this to my colleagues for their support. Thank you, Your Worship.
Sorry, having trouble with my mic now. Thank you for that, Angela, and just endorse your comments. Having looked through the open attachment, you just see the huge amount of work that has gone into this, and it's well justified, because this project really does have the ability to be transformational for a community. I think that will hugely benefit from the changes that are made. Come finally to a comment from Councillor Alf Filipaina. Alf.
Thank you, Your Worship. I see that. Oh no. Okay. Look, Your Worship, I firstly wanted to acknowledge all the people as a councillor in 2003 in Manukau. So Manukau Pōpō, as in tomorrow's Manukau Pōpō was one of our documents, and the Puhunui stream was in that document way back in 2003. So I've got a long history with the environmental aspects of the Puhunui stream. So I want to acknowledge the people that have been there on this long journey. Also, Your Worship, I want to acknowledge James Cook High School, because I know the mahi that they were doing there went back pre-Auckland Council. You know, our many volunteers and community groups, and such as the Manukau Beautification Trust. I just want to acknowledge them, but more importantly, and Angela's covered, sorry, Councillor Dalton has covered mana whenua. And Your Worship, I remember when we got elected, and prior to getting elected onto the Auckland Council in March of 2010, there were about 100 eels, some of them as old as 50, that were found dead from the Puhunui stream as a result of the rubbish that was getting pumped into there. This is the beginning of the journey to restore that to the way it was, and I agree with Councillor Dalton in regards to the resourcing of this. And you know, I got contacted as well when we got onto the Auckland Council around some of our bird life as well that were being found at the edge of the Puhunui stream. So, you know, for me, it's a long time coming. The journeys have been a long one, but I want to acknowledge Sarah and again, just the many people who've been involved with this. So Your Worship, definitely for me is to endorse the way forward around this. Ngā mihi kia koutou katoa. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Alf. Thank you very much. So I'll put the recommendations that you have in front of you. All those in favour, please say aye.
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 To the contrary, no. I declare that carried. We come now, and thank you very much to Karen and Johnny and
Kia ora.
Sarah for their presentations and the work that they've all put into this. This will be something that I think will be a tribute to everybody that's worked so hard to achieve it. Right, we come to item number 13, which is feedback on the discussion document from